My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're watching the Rasslin Rage YouTube show. Oh!
It's going down! This is Rasslin Rage! Do it now! This is Rasslin Rage! This is Rasslin Rage! Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade! It's going down! This is Rasslin Rage! Do it now! This is Rasslin Rage! This is Rasslin Rage! Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade!
And now it's time for Wrestling Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
That was kind of new. So I don't know when it stops, so I don't know when to hit buttons. So I was kind of like, ugh! All right, well, now I know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe, right? Right. All right, so we're live. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Rasslin Rage is live once again. This time it's the 71st episode. And Arabella, the Queen of Roach, is on for the very, very first time. Thank you for joining me tonight, Arabella.
I mean, you're lucky, considering every time I'm out there, you boo me. Lucky I even agreed to do this, peasant.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you got me there.
You're lucky I like improving the lives of others.
Oh, listen to this. I'm going to ask her a few questions here later, and when we get into the indies portion of the show, we will talk about Roach and their big win over Twinkie Power. Make sure to scroll down into the description of this video or click the link that pops up in the chat. Hopefully it's popping up in the chat because I can't really see what's going on here. But anyways, make sure you scroll down there and you can donate. It's not required, definitely not required, but every cent is appreciated and it definitely goes back into the show because, you know, that's what happens because
It's always good to help the poor.
Thank you. The peasants, right? The peasants.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And if you guys donate and like enough, maybe he'll realize that he should stop booing me and have me on here more often.
It could have. You know what? If we get some money, that I will definitely consider that. There's also a Streamlabs merch store for Rasslin Rage where you can get a coffee mug because everybody needs a Rasslin Rage coffee mug. Then, of course, down there are the affiliate links for WWE and also Highspots. So, you know, click those links, head over to WWEshop.com and buy, you know, whatever your heart's content is. Maybe. I don't know. But you can do that. Also, did you know Rasslin Rage has T-shirts? Well, you do now. Rasslin Rage T-shirts are available on ProWrestlingTees.com/Rasslin Rage. Just click the link in the description to visit our store on Pro Wrestling Tees website. Every shirt is 100% cotton and available in sizes up to 5X. Show your love for Rasslin Rage and get yours today. Right on. So yeah, I you know what? Mr. Weir says I should have a Rasslin Rage mug at the Dojang, and you know what? I think I agree with you on that.
Can I drink my roach blood out of it?
Your roach blood. Well, let's talk about that in a little bit. All right? Can we wait till we ask questions before we talk about the evil that is known as Arabella?
No, I speak on my own terms.
Okay. All right. Well, this is my show, by the way. I have placed that T-shirt order that I was talking about. So those T-shirts will be here within the next couple weeks. So keep your eyes open for that. Tuned in. Definitely need a shirt. Yeah, so head over to ProWrestlingTees.com/Rasslin Rage and head on over there and you can get one. They look like this. And then there's the new one with my pretty face on it. Because, you know, I'm pretty. I'm so pretty. Also, Rasslin Rage has Facebook and Twitter. Please like our page and follow us at Rasslin Rage on both. Also, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff on YouTube, r2youtube.com. We also have a website, wrestlingrage.com. So, instead of doing Collector's Corner, which I usually do in this time frame, but since we have you on the show, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
All right? Okay. So let's start off with most people in professional wrestling start out as fans. Okay? So at least most of the ones that I've talked to anyways, are or were you a fan of professional wrestling, and what drew you to begin training in professional wrestling?
Okay, well, like you said, everybody starts as a fan. I definitely did.
Okay.
I actually have my uncles and my older sister to thank for that. They started, I mean, my mom literally went into labor watching Raw. And then my uncle started taking me to shows at 4, and it just kept going.
That's pretty interesting.
I love it.
So your mom actually went into labor during Raw?
Yeah.
Is it so? Like, was she at Raw, or
No,
was she at
no,
home
she's
watching Raw?
She was at home watching because I was born on a Tuesday, so she's in the hospital and she still had it turned on. And I was born an hour and a half after Raw ended.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Hello, everybody in the chat. Jamie Wright says Arabella is hot. By the way,
I don't know who this Jamie fella is, but all right, I'll take it.
right on. And yeah, so also everybody in there, hello. You know, Red Wing fan, Mr. Beals, Taylor. Anybody else? Craig, how you guys doing today? I'm looking at my phone because apparently the chat's not working up here. Again, I thought I had the chat fixed up there, and apparently not so much. But anyways, hello, Robert Larson. How are you today, sir? Nice to see you.
Clearly a Roach fan,
that. Oh, yes, definitely.
He knows when it's appropriate to kneel and he's beneath. That's good.
Oh, Lord. The women's division in all of professional wrestling is on fire right now. More and more women are getting involved. Out of all the past and present women wrestlers, who's your biggest influence?
Man, that's a loaded question. I'd say past it would probably be, and this can sound super generic, but Trish, Lita, Jacqueline was actually a huge one for me. I really adored her as a kid. I don't know why. I just think the fact that her and Chyna both, they didn't look like typical women.
Right.
They just go in there and beat the living shit out of men. Didn't matter.
That's $1.
Loved it. Loved it. Present day, I definitely have to say girls like Alexa Bliss and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Sasha Banks, girls like that, or even Charlotte and Becky, like they're just willing to push themselves and willing to just defy everything. Another one that's coming up right now is Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. I love watching those two. I think they've got a huge future in this business.
Yeah, I'd agree with that totally. So now, that's, is there a male wrestler that influenced?
Too many.
Too many?
But I guess one of my biggest influences was Gorgeous George. For some reason, I was just drawn to how naturally he was a heel just by the way he flaunted himself.
Right.
Modern day, it'd probably be guys like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, guys like that. I know Jeff Hardy was a big one. I have drawings at home with his stupid gloves and everything. Like, that's what I wanted to do.
I wouldn't say they're stupid, but geez. All right. Anyways, so who's the person that, in the industry that, if you need to reach out to somebody and ask for advice or, within the business, who's that person?
I think in particular, there's probably two. I think Jimmy Jacobs is definitely out there, just because he has a great mind for the business, a great just vision for it. Another one would actually be Roman Reigns, and I say that because he goes in, week out, and just constantly produces something. I think he's just super knowledgeable, and he's somebody that I would really just like to sit down and talk with.
All right. So now let's see here. I know you were training and you sustained an injury, which put you on the sidelines. When I spoke to you earlier today, you said you had something you wanted to talk about concerning that injury. So first tell us what happened and then give us the update on that injury.
So back in August, I had throughout my training time and some of my matches, I had probably more concussions than a person should get from just taking simple bumps. I knew that was a red flag right there, that even if I'm taking them as safely as possible, I was getting these concussions.
Right.
Well, I went through months of dealing with a really awful doctor that took 20 years to do everything, ended up switching. My dad recommended me to his spine doctor. That spine doctor said my neck, basically, whenever I look up or look down, it's supposed to curve, mine bends straight. I also have what's called hyperreflexive nerves, and that can be caused by some spinal issues, etc. They also recommended me to a neurologist, and he basically said that my future inside the ring is definitely done, because basically I'm lucky that it was a concussion and not my neck. But that doesn't matter, because no matter whether I'm in that ring or outside of that ring, I am still the most dominant woman in the PWCW, and the most active, I do say.
Okay. Now, so that it's unfortunate that you're not going to be able to wrestle, but you have been part of the business while injured. As are you the manager of Roach?
No, I'm their leader.
You're their leader.
Yes.
The supreme overlord, or
Yes.
Okay. Well, sorry, I don't know.
They're my
Okay.
roaches.
Okay, they're your roaches. All right. So there's no reason why you can't continue in some capacity. Besides continuing to be the Queen of Roach, what else would you like to do in the industry?
I think obviously continuing down the path of leading people to, achievements, glory, to be by their sides while they do that would be something fantastic. Also, any kind of like creative writing, anything that allows me to be creative within the business, to continue on creating these characters, these worlds, these people, everything that I can stick with that. That's what I want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, I have to appreciate that. That's there's nothing wrong with doing that. I know, if you want it bad enough, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to get there.
Exactly.
So
I don't care how many people I got to step on.
Now, they may have questions for you regarding anything right now, but I ask that you guys hold off to that till the end of the show for legit wrestling questions, because it just becomes pure chaos if we do it any other.
Could imagine.
Right.
I mean, they're probably not very orderly.
No, they're not very orderly. Now,
Although
so
this is fun.
right now we're going to talk about indie shows, right? So we're going to go into that, and we'll talk about Roach, and we'll talk about the big win. So after I do this, I got this thing here I got to do, right? So I'm going to do that, and when we come back, we'll talk about Roach's big win and Blue Water Championship Wrestling's recent event at the American Legion Post 8 in downtown Port Huron. So when we come back.
Mr. Fitness Slim Trim is the supreme ultimate athlete is here to say tune in Friday nights 8 p.m. on YouTube. Rasslin Rage with Cody. Don't miss it. Twinkie power.
So how was that? All right, so we'll talk about Roach's big.
Could have chosen a better advocate.
I could, but he's so nice. He's such a nice guy. He's a nice guy. All right, but anyways, you heard me correctly. Roach defeated Twinkie Power in their path of destruction to secure their spot as the #1 contenders for the Blue Water Championship Wrestling Tag Team Championships. It was hard fought, but let's be honest here. There were a few outside shots taken by you, Arabella. I know a win is a win, but it wasn't a clean win.
Not every great champion goes down having clean wins. You said you watch wrestling, don't you?
Yes, I do watch wrestling.
And it's not cheating or taking advantage. It's just being opportunistic, taking advantage of certain situations. I want my boys to have the gold in their hands and to show that BWCW will be infested with roaches and we will rule. Everyone will learn to kneel and bow down to us. And if that means taking a cheap win here and there, then that's what we'll do.
Okay, so...
And also, it was not hard. Fuck, those guys are pathetic.
Oh, Lord. So, let me ask you this. You guys, your boys, your roaches, are now in line to face Muscle and Mayhem for the Tag Team Championships. What happens?
We win.
You win. Well, let me ask you this. The last time I seen Buddy Hanlon, he was taken to the back by one of the members of Roach.
You're right.
Where is he? Number one, because we haven't seen him in quite a while. And what's up with that?
Why would I tell you any of that?
Because you're on my show and you want to tell
Doesn't
everybody.
mean I reveal all of everything that happens
'Cause
with Inside Roach.
but-
All you need to know is that we are the most dominant force there, and those two, they don't stand a chance against us.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Muscle and Mayhem personally, but
Good, you shouldn't be.
you
should put your faith in us. That's what you should do.
Why? Sell
What do you
me.
mean, why?
Sell me on it.
You've seen the destruction we've caused. We are clearly better than half the tag teams there. I mean, all the tag teams there. Even Death Threat. They can't lay a finger on us.
Wow. So, and I'm going to have to say I'm pretty biased because one of my good friends is part of the Death Threat Army.
Oh, you mean Alex Weir?
Yes, I do mean Alex Weir.
Aw. Yeah, see, he's lucky I can't wrestle in ring or his belt would be mine.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh, okay. Well, them are some interesting fighting words, but we know that they're moving on, and you are gonna be. There's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a good fight, personally.
And you know what? I'm not going to disagree with that. But when it comes down to it, Roach will be on top every time. No one is stronger than us because you cannot fight or win against forces you do not understand.
Mr. Dan Beals here says muscles and mayhem equals just another victim.
Exactly. See? Some peasants really know where their place is, and it's fantastic.
Oh, boy. So, now we get some DTA chants. But,
Yeah, TTA.
all right. So, as we talked about last week, Justin Maine was out because of an injury. There was a lot of matches that changed around and added to the card because of those cancellations and such. But Atlas Hightower ended up facing Max Morrison and came out with the win. The crowd seemed to be getting to Atlas. Is he close to cracking? I don't know. They loved him at one time, but he turned on them. So I don't know. I do know he came out on top. Is he going to face off against Maine again in the future? We'll have to see. There's been no rumors about that, and unless you have some inside information.
Again, I'm not stupid. Second of all, I don't think Atlas is cracking. I think he's finally discovering who he is and that these peasants don't matter.
Ooh.
That victory matters and nothing else.
Okay. Kid Bullet still took on Chase Solo and came out with the win. And my boy, Billy Ray, took on Jet Rebel and got another win. Billy Ray's on a win streak because he beat one of the Muscles and Mayhem guys there, James Alexander.
And just another reason why we're going to beat them.
Oh, boy. And it also announced he's no longer in the tag team division. So I will say this. Don't touch his whiskey.
As long as it doesn't touch mine. But you see, he's out of the tag team division because he knew he wasn't strong enough to stay there. He couldn't find a decent enough partner because nobody wants to wrestle with him. However, I do applaud him on his win over Jet Rebel because we crushed him too. He's a pathetic little worm.
Wow. You are on fire tonight, let me tell you.
I just speak the truth, that's all.
Keith Cream was supposed to face Blake, but Cream took on the Hyena, Matt Hagen, and came out on top with the win. I'm not sure I really like this dude, to be honest. I don't know. I like Hagen, but this Keith Cream guy comes out like he owns the place, demanding respect. Get out of town, dude. Get in here and earn it. Then you can come out here and demand it.
He did win.
He can win all he wants.
He was able to put his money where his mouth is.
That he can do that. It doesn't mean that he earned my respect.
He slaughtered a hyena.
What? He's louder than a hyena?
No, he slaughtered a hyena.
He slaughtered a hyena. Oh, Lord. So the big guys on the roster seen some action Sunday. Big Chuck Wagon took on Chuck Whedon. Whedon got the win, but not without a bit of controversy. A little bit. Another cheap shot here. A chair, Big Chuck Wagon's chair was used on him. And I got to say, I think Chuck Wagon's going to be out for revenge.
Oh, absolutely. And see, now that's cheating. What I did is not cheating. I was just being opportunistic. That's cheating. Do you know the difference now?
No, I guess I still don't. So MM3 wasn't even supposed to be there. Shows up. They tell him they don't have a match for him. He comes out and says, hey, he tells the ring announcer, Mr. Weir, and says, call somebody out. So he calls out, Kid Bullet comes out, and then they announce it's a handicap match, and Bullet is going to team up with Dickie Watts.
It's a weird team.
Dickie Watts. And you can see that. That's on the Rasslin Rage YouTube page there, R2 YouTube. That's up there. Now, oddly enough, MM3 came out on top.
What do you mean, oddly enough?
Well, I don't mean oddly.
The kid clearly knows his talent if he's able to stand out there and say, hey, give me who you got. And he didn't run from this match. He took it on. That just shows how much better he is than everybody else there.
Well, the video that I posted, he ends up sharing some words with some friends of mine that they don't like. Now, and I will say this...
Did it make them cry?
No, not this time.
Then he didn't do a good enough job.
That's true. However, the last time these two, they burnt MM3, but I think this time MM3 was prepared.
I think MM3 is ready to take over, and I think, honestly, Alex should wash his back.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I
think Malcolm is coming for glory. He has a lot to prove. That he has a lot of drive.
Oh, yeah, well, boo-hoo. Well, you guys, I like MM3. I really do. He was outnumbered, and I didn't know if he had what it took. Especially...
I've watched his matches, and I think he has exactly what it takes.
All right.
Now, do I agree with BWCW doing that? No, it's garbage.
Okay. All right. Now, Karam came back from injury and with a win over one of my favorites, Shogun Jackson Stone. This was Jackson Stone's BWCW debut. Mm-hmm. It definitely could have went a little bit better for him, of course. But there's a ton of wrestling to be done in Blue Water. So first of all, welcome back, Karam. And this match will go up on my YouTube on Monday. Then, lastly, the main event. Weaponized Alex Weir won the Rising Star Championship for the second time.
That would be my second time.
Second.
Wrestling.
It wasn't, though. Second, right?
Gotta
Second.
choose.
He was the first to ever win the title, and now he's the first to ever win it 2 times.
I think Alex should consider coming over to Roach and not being with that pathetic DTA.
Yeah, right.
Just imagine what he could do with a little extra power.
Yeah, I don't know about... I don't think he need... Have you met Aaron Orion?
Yeah.
Or Jack Price?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're mortals.
Okay. Anyways...
But imagine what I could offer them, too. I could completely destroy DTA, and they can just come to Roach. They'll be more dominant than they've ever been.
Where's Alex, man? I thought he'd be in here.
Hiding.
Is he hiding? You think so?
Probably.
Oh, okay. So this match was scheduled to be a 3-way elimination match, but was made into a 4-way when Aqua Bra Cyrus Satine came out, and then he announced it would be for the title. 2 days before, on Rasslin Rage, Cyrus joined us live from Florida, and then BWCW executive has announced in the chat he would be on the card for Sunday. They flew him in, and the rest is history. It was great to see him again. I'm so tore because Alex is a good friend of mine, but I also have a lot of respect for Cyrus. I'm really glad that at the end of the match, they buried the hatchet, and Cyrus lifted Alex's hand in victory. This match will be up Wednesday of next week.
I do have to say that final match was amazing. Though all of the men, not just Cyrus and Alex, they all put their hearts into it. Blake, who has a lot to prove after being turned on by Malcolm, had a great showing.
Yeah.
A newcomer, Nolan Edwards, as well, had an amazing showing. I think there's something so special about when Cyrus and Alex face each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was a lot of story.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of story there.
They're brothers.
And they train together, and there's a lot of story there.
Absolutely.
And they told that story.
Yes, they did.
And there was words, but the ring, what happened in the ring said a lot.
Absolutely.
You know,
I think those two will be equally matched forever, and they will constantly go back and forth.
But and we also, you know, you said Nolan Edwards, right? So now
Yes.
we got to see two people. Well, actually, I think we got two. We got two people in that we haven't got to see in Blue Water yet. You know,
I think
Shogun
both,
and Nolan Edwards.
Yeah, and I think both of them are an absolute enhancement.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, and Nolan Edwards, he's, you know, high flyer, great guy. You know, moves really well.
Wonder if I can help him
You never know.
with his Quora.
You could.
He seems to have something. He should join Roach as well.
Yeah. And then
Could lead him to success. Lead him to the title.
Shogun
Stray
Jackson
Alex.
Stone, who's been on the show. Well, been on. You know, I've interviewed
Yes.
him. And you know, this guy is genuine. Shogun Jackson Stone is a genuine person. That's what I really like about him. He's very genuine, and if you stay on his, I wouldn't say stay on his good side, but he's a very respectable person.
Absolutely.
I'll just put it that way, and leave
He's
it at
earned
that.
my respect and all of Roach's respect.
Very good. So now we're going to talk about a few more shows. March 16th, UCW has an event at the Hall of Brawl. Doors open at 6 with the event starting at 7. Ticket prices are available on their website, ultimatechampionshipwrestling.com for $10.
You know what's good with them? They'll book me.
There you go. Also on March 16th in Wyandotte, BCWA presents Ain't That a Kick in the Head? That's a heck of a name. From the Copeland Center. Tickets are $10 online, $13 at the door. Bell time is scheduled for 6. Head on over there. You can get those tickets on their website. I think it's bcwa.com. Clash Wrestling heads into Brownstown, Michigan, March 29th. Champion the Caveman Elk. Clash Tag Champions, I don't know, Tommy Tresnick, Dead Vaughn. Petey Williams will be there. Lotus, Juntai, Gavin Quinn, Cameron Sky, James Alexander, Justin Main, Orlando Christopher, and more. That's a heck of a lineup. Tickets are only $12 on clashwrestling.com or $40 for 4. So that takes it down to $10 a ticket. That's pretty good.
It's not bad at all.
No, not at all. I'll take that.
Especially for a great night of wrestling. That's not a bad price to pay.
That's it for Indies this week. If I missed something, please feel free to put it in chat. If you are watching this now or maybe later on and you would like me to say something about your show, please message me and I will. Thank you. Have a nice day. All right, so now we go into what I like to call, well, it's what we call All the Rage, and that's where we talk about things that are happening or may have happened in professional wrestling, and I picked some very good topics specifically because you're on the show today, and it's more about women in wrestling, not so much like focused more on women. But
good, it gets boring talking about men all the time.
This is true.
And their egos.
This is true. Well, yeah, we do have egos, don't we? Yeah. All right, so once I get over here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hit this, we're going to come back, and we're going to talk All the Rage. All right, so All the Rage. So here it is, right? We got to talk about this. I posted about this on Facebook, and I felt this was an interesting topic of discussion, specifically, like I said, with you. But I want to get your perspective on this. WWE announced that Torrie Wilson will be inducted into their version of the Hall of Fame, and I say that loosely.
Trust me, I understand.
This year. So I want to know what she has truly done in professional wrestling to deserve prestige. That prestige. What you think she's done.
For me, Torrie was somebody that I also admired watching as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, she had that typical girly gimmick that was just very popular at the time. That's what divas were. And as much as that sucks, she was able to actually present herself in a different way. She was actually able to, I think, wrestle better than some of these other girls. And I just remember when eventually she couldn't wrestle anymore because of her back and everything. And even when she came in for the Royal Rumble last year, she put on a decent showing, especially for not having been in the ring in a while. And I think that's why she belongs here. I think both she was always good on camera, off camera, whatever. I don't think this is just based on her beauty. She is definitely one of the women that slowly introduced different ideas for women being in wrestling.
Okay.
Because she definitely wasn't the sluttiest on there. And she could actually wrestle. I mean, there's girls like Kelly. She took everything 10 steps back. So I definitely think Torrie has earned her place on there. I really do.
All right. So, I mean, and I don't say any of that because she's a woman.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, it has nothing to do with that. I say this because, in my opinion, this is, again, my opinion, all right, I don't think her wrestling career was Hall of Fame.
I think if she wouldn't have been injured, she could have gone longer, and I think it would have been Hall of Fame. I really do.
But would have been
and
is
absolutely
are two different things. And personally, okay, so yes, China is going into the Hall of Fame, so that goes into the side question here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. All right. Does Torrie Wilson deserve to be in the Hall of Fame as a single competitor over China?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right, and that's what perturbs me
absolutely.
about it is that yes, China is going into the Hall of Fame, but she's going in as a member of DX.
And that's cool. Put her in with DX, but she should also have her own individual reign.
And I totally agree with that.
She has a great legacy shoot. Like I said earlier, do you know how many China dolls I had as a kid? Because that's what I wanted to be. I didn't want to be all the other girls like Torrie. I love Torrie Wilson, but I did not want to be that. I wanted to be China. I wanted to kick men's butts. I wanted to kick women's butts. I wanted to be a dominant force. And that's exactly what she was.
Right. I agree with that totally, and I think that China should be the first woman that's inducted twice.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that would make up for the fact that you put Torrie Wilson in before China.
Absolutely.
And that's part
I'm actually very surprised that they announced Torrie, because there are some other women too that I think could go ahead of Torrie as well.
I'm a little jaded here.
A little bit.
I'm a little jaded, and
do I think Torrie's spot's not earned? No. Do I think that she needs to go in after girls like China?
Yeah.
And I don't, just
Maybe.
a lot of other girls that were in there beforehand. Or
When
that should be in before her.
When I think about
not.
women's wrestling, I don't think about Torrie Wilson.
That's fair.
That I really don't.
No, a lot of people think of either Lita or Victoria or Mickie James, Trish.
Yep.
Those girls, absolutely. Torrie was the last, or not necessarily the last, but she was right before all of that started to happen. But even the matches she had with some of those girls were great. But because of where she was and how she was perceived, it'll never be seen as great as girls like as Victoria or even like as modern day ones, because times are shifting, which I'm super happy for.
Right.
But those girls are also the reason that we're even able to be on screen.
Yeah.
That we even have a place in wrestling. I mean, if you look at like Sable and then you look at Torrie Wilson, think about the huge jump from that even.
Okay, yeah, and I could see that, but even still, I don't see the correlation from her career to Hall of Fame. I don't. There's no. Yes, she won a Divas Championship, but I mean, even still, I mean, she was in an era where at
least she got in before Kelly.
True. Bras and panties and matches and all that
but
stuff.
You gotta remember,
that's not Hall of Fame.
No, but she doesn't have... There's no control over that. She is
I
there
agree
to
with
push
that,
her, to do what her boss tells her to do.
Even
and take
the
a
matches
paycheck.
even the matches that took place though weren't, in my opinion, Hall of Fame. I mean, she started out as... Did she start out as like a Nitro girl or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that she's not worthy because she's was a Nitro
I know you
girl.
don't think of her, but like people like me or my uncles, that's one of the first names that come up when we talk about wrestling, especially back then. Like when we were talking about like all these girls that are gonna that were gonna appear in the Royal Rumble, our biggest, one of the people on the list was Torrie Wilson. We haven't seen her. We're like, oh no, she's not going to though because we're back. She can't. So seeing her genuinely showed up just genuinely made me happy. I don't know what it was. Maybe that's just nostalgia for me. I don't know.
Okay, well, I mean, fair enough, and it's always okay to disagree.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Right. All right. So
that's what wrestling is.
Exactly. But some people don't know how to move on from that. You know.
No, I know.
And people
Don't worry.
get super butthurt. And
So does this mean you're gonna stop booing me now?
Maybe.
You better.
You got $20? Anyway,
This peasant wants me to help him.
Right.
I'm already helping you enough by even being on here.
okay, Jim Cornette has joined Major League Wrestling announce team. He's now a color commentator for Major League Wrestling. This is his first gig as a color commentator. I find that hard to believe.
I wonder who he's going to piss off.
Right, yeah. There's been an update, sorta, regarding Arn Anderson's release from WWE. So it's kind of dirt sheet. No, and I hate to do this, but...
Because there's no truth behind it.
Right, but apparently, allegedly, we'll use the word allegedly, Arn Anderson allowed Alicia Fox to wrestle while intoxicated. And that got back to Vince, and Vince was upset, and he released Arn. I don't know, that sounds a little too...
It's a little far-fetched.
I don't know.
I
What?
think Arn probably did something that maybe Vince didn't like, or maybe even Arn asked to be let go.
Could be.
We don't know. We're not there. We don't know.
No.
Of course, there's going to be rumors circulating everywhere.
Right.
But we don't know.
Andrew D'Arcy says Jim Cornette is the best of everything.
Sometimes I think Andrew wishes he could be Jim Cornette.
That's hilarious. What is there a punishment for Alicia Fox? Well, we haven't seen her on TV, so who knows? But there's no word on.
No, and she's not on TV a lot, anyways.
Right.
This is one thing that I've brought up before. I like Alicia Fox because she does her job the way she's supposed to do it. She goes in, jobs, puts on basic, simple matches, does great at her character, and leaves. She does that the smartest way. She's making more than a lot of people, and that's just because she can show up, put on a simple match, act stupid, and get paid. That's literally all she has to do.
Most definitely. So the pay scale for wrestlers in WWE has been released. Now, there was, like the top 15 and yada, yada, yada. Well, I didn't want to list them all, but so I want to talk about this for a second, all right? So, Brock Lesnar catches a lot of heat, right, for what a lot of fans call part-time wrestling.
He is a part-time.
Okay, whatever. And so he's no stranger to controversy, that's for sure. But
absolutely.
He is the highest paid of all the wrestlers, right? He gets $12 million base pay. Okay,
Can't even show up regularly, and he's making $12 million.
$500,000 per appearance. Plus.
That's obnoxious.
Plus. So he gets a $12 million base pay plus $500,000 for every appearance that he makes.
To do the same 3 moves he can do?
So, I mean, hey, you can't be mad at the man.
I mean, he's smart, absolutely. He's making the money.
Right, exactly.
I don't blame him. At the same time, what the hell?
Okay, now let's take this for a second. Now look at this. The second highest paid man I'm going to reiterate that, man in WWE is John Cena at $8.5 million. Now, I bet that John Cena has made WWE more money than Brock Lesnar.
Oh, hands down. All the kids that love him?
Why
Absolutely.
in the heck does John Cena make almost $4 million less? So $3.5 million less.
Because WWE thinks that Brock Lesnar is this big commodity when he's really not.
That's insane to me, right? All right, so
Although,
now...
I mean, Brock Lesnar does draw. People want to see him.
Right, okay, so now let's talk about the top women, right? Now, you would think if you have a top man at $12 million and the second one is roughly at $8.5 million, you would think that the top women would probably make, at least 3, 4, you know what I mean?
Freaking hope so.
Right? No. $1.5 million.
Jesus, that's it?
$1.5 million. And you know who makes that? Ronda Rousey.
Oh, my favorite person.
All right, so Ronda Rousey. Okay, so there's, Brock Lesnar makes $12 million. He's the top dog for the men.
Well, like
Ronda
Mr.
Rousey
Beals had said here, he's just a farmer who just happens to be a wrestler.
It's true.
Gonna have to agree with that.
$1.5 million, right? Okay, now listen to this for a second. Here's this. Number 2 for the women. Right? You would think it'd be close to $1 million, right? No. $550,000.
That is such garbage. And
Charlotte Flair.
That makes me mad. Like, one, you're paying, I don't like Ronda Rousey, but you're paying her $7 million less than you were paying John Cena.
Yeah.
When actually she's there more than John Cena right now and is probably drawing more than he is right now.
That's right. And
Especially with her latest controversy, you know she's pulling in heat, pulling in money for that.
right. And Beal says that the women are carrying the show.
We are absolutely carrying the
Yeah.
show. That is without a doubt. People are lining up for WrestleMania because they want to see Becky Lynch against Ronda Rousey. Did they want Charlotte in it? No, but you know what? They'll take it because they know damn well that it's going to be a great match. Heck, I'm even excited for Fastlane this Sunday because I think Asuka versus Mandy Rose is going to be a decent match. I think the women are carrying the segments, and the fact that Charlotte Flair, who is probably over more than Ronda is, or even Becky, who should probably be on that list at number 2 or number 1 right now, because of how much money she's probably pulling WWE in.
Well, you know,
But even like, no matter who's at top, the fact that that Ronda is making $7 million less than the second top paid guy in WWE is absolutely ridiculous.
It's pretty sad. I mean, you would thought that by now.
You would think by now there would be equal pay.
I would no. Oh yeah, okay. All right. I have to say equal
as
pay.
long as the numbers are there. Like I understand that everything works off of draws and everything works off of merchandise, etc. But I feel like there should not be a $7 million gap there.
Right. No, and I agree with you. It shouldn't be dang there. And you know, it's obviously going to be paid, you know, based on performance and you know, and what you can, what you offer. Obviously,
look at girls like Charlotte and Becky
Right.
and even Ronda. Like Ronda,
Well, I mean,
I was so pissed when I found out she was coming to WWE. I was so angry. She has proved me wrong.
Right.
And I hope to God her latest rant is a work, because if it is, that's fantastic. She did great. If it's not, well, she'll just have to get her ass kicked to find out that wrestling isn't fake.
Right. Well, we'll see. Remember, Ty Dillinger asked for his release. He's now going by Shawn Spears, and we know his first match will be after departing WWE. It will be taking place against Impact Wrestling star Moose at Atomic Revolutionary Pro Wrestling. That's a lot to say.
Yeah.
Star Spangled Slammer on June 14th in Coca, Florida.
All right.
Florida's happening. There's a lot of wrestling going on in Florida.
I know. That's where I need to be.
Right.
I think with Ty, because I've been one of his biggest fans probably since he started. I love Ty Dillinger, or Shawn Spears now. I think him leaving was probably the best option. He was definitely underutilized. I think with a new, like, especially because, like, with the 10 gimmick, if he would have went heel with that, I think he would have been bigger than what he was. So hopefully this works out for him.
We'll see. Speaking of people leaving WWE, how about the recent news that legendary color commentator, Jim Ross, also known as JR or good old JR, has announced he's leaving the WWE. This was done on a recent episode of his podcast he released, and that he says that he's done once his contract expires on March 29th. Now, I'm going to read these quotes. My WWE contract after 26 years will expire on Friday, March 29th, Ross said. And after talking a couple of weeks ago with Vince McMahon, we have mutually agreed I need to move on. While noting the move is on good terms, Ross suggested powerful people in the organization clearly wanted him out. I still think I can do play-by-play, even though others that may surround Vince think I can't. Ross says he's leaving the company with great thoughts, very positive. I've made a lot of money. Vince is amazing to Jan and myself. He set us up for life financially, of which I could never repay him. I'm 67. I still feel I can get the job done doing wrestling play-by-play, and I want to explore that opportunity and possibility. That's from his podcast.
Yeah. And you know what? It's sad to think that Vince isn't the one that wants him out. That there are people that legit. I want to know who the idiot thinks that he can't do play-by-play still. I would love to know who that idiot is.
It was, you know, and I just recently got to meet him, and I sat there for a Q&A panel type deal, and it was amazing to just sit there and listen to him.
I know. Even just listening to his podcast is fantastic. I don't know who in God's name thinks that man can't do play-by-play.
it was awesome.
But you know what? That man, like he said, he's set for life. Right now, he might as well just go out and have some fun.
True.
He's been through a lot in the last year or so with his wife and everything.
Oh, yeah. And he talked about that.
That man needs to go out and have some fun.
Yeah, he talked about that a little bit because somebody asked him, because I asked him, I says, do you miss it? You know, and he was like, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But he says he would rather do the live aspect
absolutely.
of collar con. That's what he said when
Yep.
I asked him, and he was like, "I'd rather do like Raw, you know, live."
Yeah.
He likes that, you know,
The atmosphere.
you have to be on your toes. He likes
Yeah.
being. I like that too personally. I don't like doing recording. Like I don't like
No.
doing this recording things. I'd rather be live. I like the raw. You know that it just
I
is
feel
more
like
natural.
Being live, it's not even just more natural. You feel the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it, and it's not.
You can hear the kid running around. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know?
You can't edit anything out, so everything
No.
that is said is genuine.
Very
and
good,
I think
yeah.
that adds to the wrestling. That creates the atmosphere that every show wants. So
Yeah.
I think color commentators are a huge part of the
Oh, yeah.
industry.
Well, and you know, like when you listen to, I don't know if you watch any MLW and Terry Schiavone,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear Terry Schiavone, and you're like, oh, the old WCW days.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of
Honestly,
like,
my favorite color commentator is Dave DuPont.
okay,
He's one of my biggest fans,
all right,
and I
there-
appreciate that.
all right, there you go. But then or like Mike Tenay,
Yep.
right? Mike Tenay when he was doing TNA. There's
I think the guys that are doing TNA now are fantastic.
you like Josh?
I do. I actually like it a lot. I think it works. I don't know what it is, but I think it works.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because NXT is seen as this young blood show, and having that kind of voice just seems to go hand in hand, and I love it.
Who's the guy that's doing it with him now? Is it the dude is it the executive vice president? Not Demore, the other one?
I believe so.
The guy from New Japan. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either, but I think
Dang
so.
It's gonna come to me like
My mind,
after. Yeah, so it's someone else put it up in the chat. Right. Anyways, yeah. So lastly, before we go to legit wrestling questions, lastly, WrestleMania 36 has been announced to be taking place in Tampa Bay, Florida, at the Raymond James Stadium on April 5th, 2020.
If they don't do something with that pirate ship and Kyrie Sane, I'm going to be so mad. They are missing a great opportunity. I
how
will be
many-
so angry.
Every WrestleMania.
Also, when the heck are they going to bring it back here?
Oh, that'd be nice, or at
Taking
least
long enough.
close. you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I guess Florida's not too good, but
Yeah, it's still
far.
It's still south, and that's still a heck of a drive. You
of
know.
course WrestleMania will be better when they put me on there, and I lead somebody to gold.
Here we go. You come back to the D. That's right, they do. All right, so we are going to go to legit wrestling questions. You can ask me, her, both of us, whatever you want, but it has to be a wrestling question, and it has to be legit, right? All right, so when we come back, legit wrestling questions. Booyah. All right, so we're back, and I'm looking at my phone here because the chat, again, I don't know, man, this piece of junk. My phone's going to die too. But so let's see what we got here. We don't have any questions.
I'm not that scary. You guys can ask anything.
Right. While we're waiting for a question or two to come on in, I'll show this off. These came in today. So the big reveal. The big reveal. I'll show this camera over here. Oop. That's weird. It's hard to see because it can't focus. Well, look at those. Aren't those amazing? I sent that to somebody today to show them.
Oh, looks like I got a question in.
Ooh, what's your
right.
question? Let's see here. Let me read it here. Since you can't be in the ring competitor anymore, what are your plans?
To bring Roach to greatness, and anyone else that wants to walk up to me, as long as they are worthy.
As long as they're worthy. Okay, so give us a list of worthiness attributes. Ooh, I'm
They
glad I
have to
came-
be willing to do anything and sacrifice anything to get the goal, to get the victory, to be on top of BWCW. They need to know their place. They need to learn to bow to me. And as soon as that's done, I can take them anywhere they want. I mean, I'm proving it with Roach. Those titles are ours. Watch us. And this is just for the BWC locker room. Once you see this match and we take those titles, if you don't doubt my skills, then you need to come find me. And you need to prove yourself.
Well then.
Because I can take you to greatness. You want a belt, you better believe I'm going to get you that belt. But you also better believe that if you fail me, You will be squashed like a little pest.
Okay. Are you ready for another one? All right. Who are your dream opponents for Roach in BWCW?
Do you mean dream victims?
Okay, dream victims. Who are your dream victims?
That's a hard one. It's hard to think of any worthy competitors, but I guess I would say Aaron O'Ryan and Jack Bryce.
Ooh.
And the reason I say that is because I think they could actually put up a decent fight. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be smart and they'll see the power of Roach after we annihilate them, and they'll know where to go.
Okay. So, Captivity H asks, Arabella, what other names in wrestling have you gone by, or have you always been known as Arabella?
It's Arabella.
Always Arabella.
Always been Arabella.
All right, always Arabella. Oh, Craig, go home. Boring, he says. See ya. He says you're boring.
I'll see you later, sweetheart.
Thanks, Craig. Love you, Craig. What a nice guy, Craig.
He must want Roach to eat him.
Apparently. All right. So that's looks like all the questions we have for today.
All right.
Wonderful stuff. So thanks for coming on. We'll have to have you on again sometime. Maybe we can get the boys on eventually, or maybe we can sit down with the boys at one of the shows and have a discussion, I guess. What do they talk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I've never really heard.
My roaches are intelligent.
I didn't say they weren't.
Scary, but intelligent.
They're definitely scary.
And then maybe you'll learn not to boo us.
There was the other.
Of course, we can always just really show you why you shouldn't boo us. So you might want to be careful inviting them over if you plan on making them mad.
Well, I didn't say.
I'm a little bit more civil than they are.
Nobody said anything about making anybody mad.
You boo us.
Well,
you're a traitor and a peasant. Until
I'm a traitor and a peasant. I like this. Till otherwise. Okay, well, all right.
Till you learn to kneel.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen.
I might just have to make you then. You don't need those knees, do you? At least I hope not.
Listen to this. What the hell? She may be canceled, but she's doing a dang fine job on Rasslin Rage tonight. You're canceled, apparently.
Canceled? Nobody cancels Arabella. I take what I want.
Jacob says hashtag sweaty nipple pancakes, by the way.
I want to know exactly what that is. I'm intrigued.
Sweaty nipple pancakes are what had happened was Jacob and Q were on the show, and Jacob announced that he would turn on anybody if somebody gave him a pancake, specifically talking about Big E and them, and then they were talking about how Big E keeps pancakes.
You know, I might have to agree with that. Who the hell feeds fans pancakes?
Yeah.
They need leaders, not friends.
All right.
Gross.
So, again, thanks for joining us. We will have her on again sometime, and we will...
Those are fighting words.
I don't even know what's being said.
That's because we can take on DTA. They're no threat for us.
Oh.
Granted, I have much respect for them, and they are strong.
Oh,
but they will be playing with forces they don't know.
Oh, boy. Okay, so anyways, you guys, we will see you again next week. I'm not sure who I'm having as a guest host. I need to get some hosts set up for the next couple weeks so I can start putting stuff out there and what have you. So, you want to be on the show, reach out to me, man. If you want to sit down in the chair right there and hang out for a little bit and talk some wrestling, let's do that. Hook me up. So we will see you again next week, same time, same place. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and we'll see you again later.
Toodles.
Toodles. She said toodles.
We are the Death
I always
Row
say
Army.
toodles.
Vehicle City Villain Aaron O'Ryan.
Black Diamond Jack Price.
The Wild Child Jody Threat.
And weaponized Alex Weir. And you're watching Rasslin Rage live on Friday nights at 8 o'clock on YouTube.